Well, hi, everybody. My name is Garrett Ruchinsky. I work here at City of Refuge. I am our Director of Engagement, and I'm so excited for you to join us for Q4 Quarterly Catch Up. A quarterly catch up. I can't believe that we are doing the fourth one of these. It has been an action-packed year full of adventure, challenges, and opportunities. What I want to do to kick right off is let you know that Debbie is out of the office this week, but she has pre-recorded a message for us. So we're about to begin that in a second. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to go down to the chat section, put them in there. We will be taking little breaks between the sessions to answer any relevant questions, and then we'll have a section towards that at the end. If you have any friends or colleagues or people you want to share this with, this will be recorded and released later this week via our newsletter. So, and don't worry, we'll have an opportunity for you to come back and see it again. So, without further ado, Lauren and I are going to be switching through these scenes. Lauren, let's move over to Debbie's message.
Hey all, thank you so much for joining our fourth quarter catch up. It's been a fast few months, and so I just wanted to pause for a moment and say thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. We could not do anything of what we do without you. And just catch you up to some speed on some highlights. We have a good team here present that's going to share some more stories about what has been going on and just some updates for the next quarter. I know some of you have probably been wondering about funding and what has transpired since our urgent pleas to give, and we are already in the fiscal year of 25-26, and so just wanted to report back on where we're at with our grants. One of the exciting things is that it does look like we will have one more year of funding through the Missouri Office of Refugee Administration. That's today's reality, and we are holding that loosely, but we know that 1 year will pass really quickly, and so you are going to see us in the next year really pressing into those fundraising efforts, maybe like never before. We'll do some events that we've never done before. We will continue to try to drive traffic through City Boutique and City Cuisine and just really diversify our funding sources. We're always looking for new foundations or grants to apply to as well, just so we can continue to sustain the growth that we've had, so we can continue to meet the needs. And we are continuing to look for that group of 1,000 donors who can commit to giving $50 a month. Right now, we are at 23% of that goal, and we're really happy with that. With the efforts that we put into it. And so you'll continue to hear us ask for that and continue to share why that's so important. So be on the lookout for how you can be a part of what we're doing and be a part of new and exciting things here at City of Refuge. With all that in mind, we do have some money set aside for 1 East Broadway and some of the renovations that we're trying to do there, specifically with our learning center that will be a hub for our youth to have. Right now, they've been crammed into our current building on Wednesdays and Thursday evenings, and so we're really excited to put some dollars towards making sure that they have a space that can also be used for adult learning classes and just a more multifunctional space that is more open that we just have not had in a while. So and we do have some other capital projects that we'll be looking for contributions for as well. So lots of fundraising as every nonprofit gets to embark upon. As far as our staffing goes, we have a really great group of people. I think that we are done hiring for the foreseeable future. We have 33 folks on payroll, whether it's full-time or part-time. And we are, we'll always be hiring for City Cuisine and City Boutique for artisans and chefs. And so that number will fluctuate. But on the whole, what you'll see is like the core of City of Refuge. We're at a really healthy place where we can meet a lot of the needs that we have now been able to through our community center and care coordinators and our case management, our development department, English classes, youth programs, driving classes, City Cuisine, City Preschool, communications and engagement, you name it. We are, I feel like we're at a really good place. So every person that we've hired is really vital to their role in making sure that we can relationally connect with and serve and empower our refugee friends. So that's an update there. There's just a lot of exciting things happening and things that have happened in the last quarter and even more that are coming up. And so know that we are always working to adapt to the challenges that are surrounding us. We are not immune to it. We're not oblivious to it. But we We are adapting and we're overcoming, and we're really just grateful that we are here to continue to serve and empower our refugee friends. And we're going to do that today and for the foreseeable future. And we're just grateful that we have that opportunity to equip and come alongside. So thank you for your partnership in that and helping us be able to do that. So without further ado, I'd really love for our team to share more with you about the details of the day in, day out of how they get to do that, and how you can continue to be a part of that and support us in those efforts. So thanks so much. We're really glad you're here.
Well, thank you so much, Debbie. In that video, she talked about our program. So I have the pleasure to introduce David Eccles. He is the Director of Refugee Development. Think skills, empowerment, teach a man to fish. So, David, take it away.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. My name is David, and I don't we've got so much going on in our development department, just this incredible team. I'm really proud of everything they're doing, just always innovating new ways to empower people. So I we could really share a lot. We're really thriving. But I really want to keep my part short. I want to tell you a little bit about our English classes because they have become so central to so many of the things we're doing. We currently we're up to 5 English classes. We have two that meet. We have one that meets 4 days a week, two that meet 3 days a week, and two that meet twice a week. Um, and they are really just doing such an incredible job. I just found out this morning we have 3 more that are graduating from our programs and are going to move on to taking high school classes over at the Excel Center. And so our partnership with the Excel Center and what Carla and the others are doing over there has just been incredible. And so we're really grateful for that. And as we get into these relationships with the students here, we've just got this great opportunity to know, okay, what are some of the things we need to work on next? And it's just been really exciting. But I don't want to spend too much time on this stuff because I really want you to hear from my team and some of the things that they're doing. And so I'm going to hand it over to Vivi. He is our transportation empowerment specialist, and he's going to tell you a little bit about the driving program.
Can you guys hear me okay? All right. Like David says, my name is Vivi. I'm a driving instructor. For the past these few months, we had a really good number of success. Our students have continued making good progress towards the driving goal. We started with 51 students, and the number of success right now is 31. 20 left out of the 51, and 20 additional of those who needed a driving permit. So to better support them, we have been using this new resource we just got. It's called Zutobi. You can use the Zutobi app or Zutobi website. It's been helping a lot of the new permit, and we've been supporting them by using that app, and then they've been really prepared, like just to prepare for them to get the permit and driving. So we also in progress of opening Afghanistan women class. Our goal is to prepare for them, like those who does not really understand English, so they can prepare by using their own language. And if they need a translator, they can use a translator. But you can't take a translator if you have not prepared for the test or anything or study anything like that. So the Zutobi is really gonna help a lot of the women, Afghan women. It's basically like this book. It contains all information, but the Zutobi, it has a lot detail, and then you can also change to your own language. So our goal is to make sure that they can study by using the app or the website Zutobi, and so by using that they can prepare and just study what they have learned, and then if they need a translator they can take a translator. But our goal is to make sure if you can at least try to take it in English. Yeah, that's basically what I've been doing and how I've been going. My goal at the end of this year, I'm trying to see if I can get at least 45 students until before the year end. Thank you.
Hey, Vivi, just can
Yes.
you start your video just real quick so they could see you are a real person. I accidentally disabled your video.
Oh,
Not just a smooth sounding voice, but an incredible help. So there he is. He's real. He's waving to us. Thanks, Vivi.
thank you.
David, you have somebody next here with the youth update.
Yes, I want to introduce you to Raina. Raina is our youth empowerment specialist, and she's going to share with you about our youth programs.
Thanks, David. Hi, everyone. These are some pictures from things we did this summer. So we got to do some hands-on um, experience learning. And so the picture there, Rita's helping kids learn how to build a fire. And then we roasted marshmallows and made s'mores. We were able to find halal marshmallows too, which was really fun. So that our halal friends could also have s'mores. The kids loved it. Many s'mores were eaten. Many sticky hands needed to be washed multiple times. And then this picture on the right, where having some of our older elementary and middle school students learning the computer program Scratch. I didn't know anything about Scratch, but David knows a lot, and we had a high school student that knows a lot, and one of David's sons also knows a lot. So we had a team approach to teach some of these students, and myself, I learned how to do Scratch alongside with them. So my goal is to just expose students to different things in our culture, in the school, resources in the community, kind of engage them with it a little bit. So, not just being told what it is, getting to interact with it, and then hopefully connecting them to that resource or, to the Scratch program, and then also connecting them with each other. So, making shared memories during the Scratch computer coding camp. We had two girls that sat by each other and they just made really ridiculous things with funny voiceovers. And so they really, furthered their friendship in that too. So that's really, really fun to see. And so just, yeah, moving forward throughout the school year, continuing to expose students to different things, engage them in those, and yeah, connect them to those resources and to each other. I think that's all. Any other development updates, David?
No, that'll be great. Thank you guys for sharing. We've got so much going on. I could just tell you our cooking classes are going great. We've got a new program called Thrive Together in partnership with Seed Success. Um, we've got our buddy programs, and we've got um, Rusty doing his career thing. I mean, we've got so much going on. And thank you for being a part of it and for supporting City of Refuge. Back to you, Garrett.
Thanks so much, David, Raina, Vivi. Awesome news on that, and keep up that great work. Next, I am delighted to introduce you to our director of City Preschool, Candace, and she's got a friend with her. Candace, tell us a little bit more about your program.
Hi, everybody. We're so happy to be with you again this quarter. Again, I don't know where this year has gone. It's already Q4. I can't believe it, but we are so excited about all the wonderful things that are happening and the ways that we are growing. I get to come on and talk to you about how our kids are learning, where kids are coming from, the relationships that they're building, and our amazing teachers. But you never get to see these amazing teachers. So I'm incredibly excited to introduce you to one today. I'll just let her take it away.
Hi, my name is Casey. I've been teaching at City Preschool this is my second year. What an honor it is to be such an important part of such amazing kiddos' lives and getting to watch them grow from language to confidence to friendships to actual physical growth. It's incredible, and I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah. We love Casey so much. She actually started, and if you haven't seen Casey around town, then keep your eyes open because she loves to volunteer. She actually started here because she was volunteering here at City Preschool last year. And I just noticed just kind of how well she worked with the kids and the other adults in our program. And so I was like, I wonder if she'd be interested in doing a little bit more. So we tried her as a substitute, and she did a great job just connecting with kids. She's just so good at connecting and communicating with all the kids. And so then I offered her a job and she was like, yes. And so we're really excited to have her here. She's such a great leader for our other teachers as well. And Casey was also a City Preschool mom because her daughter, who's now in kindergarten, was a student here at City Preschool. So I love, one of my favorite things about what we get to do here is that we get to connect so many different parts of the community, whether that be our refugee community or folks from the wider Columbia community. Speaking of which, we are we have some open slots, and so if you can take a look at the flyer there. We're excited to be able to offer subsidy for families who could benefit from that financial assistance. There's a link on the website as to how to connect with the state of Missouri to get subsidy. We do already have one student who is taking advantage of that, and so we're very happy to get more kiddos here and be able to help people to have access to some very intentional, high quality, multicultural education. Anything else from you? All right. Thank you so much for your support. Back to you, Garrett.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Candace, Casey. Super glad to have you on board. Next, we hop over to our care, refugee care. Everything is relational right here at City of Refuge. And so I have the delight to introduce to you somebody we refer to as JJ. You may see emails from him as John Angelo, but his name is JJ with us here, his nickname. And JJ has some just heartfelt, cool stories to share from a care perspective. JJ, take it away.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I get just an amazing opportunity to work with a variety of different families on a really deep and personal level. Um, a lot of other places would call it my job like a caseworker or case manager, but we say care coordinator, and I feel like that's appropriate just with the amount of care that goes into everything that we do. So I get to work primarily with folks from Afghanistan, and I wanted to share a story just of kind of a family's journey just over the past year. They moved from a suburb of Seattle, Seattle, Washington, to Columbia on New Year's Eve, 2024, and I met them on January 3rd. They were the first people I kind of interacted with coming back from a Christmas vacation. And they were brought in by another family member that was already established in Columbia. Um, but they drove their own car all the way from Seattle to Columbia, and the father, we'll call him Mo, he had a upper management position within a warehouse in Washington. He was making really good money, and he knew he'd be sacrificing that, but he wanted to move to Columbia first because he had family here, but also just because of the recommendation that his cousin gave for what City of Refuge was doing for him personally. And this cousin, we call him Al. He's told me several times separately that he speaks with his family members around different states in America and even in Afghanistan um, about the work that City of Refuge does, and they all tell him that they have nothing like that. They have no one helping to the level that they're getting help. And so I just thought that was really cool to have that recommendation be made and to bring someone all the way from the West Coast to the middle of Missouri. But yeah, this guy Mo, he moved into a different cousin's house, call that cousin Sam, and they had 10 people under one roof, all kids under 10 years old. First priority was finding a job, of course. I got to step in and help with that and get him a job that was in Jeff City, which was a full 45-minute drive. He got to work with a family member, but it was 12-hour shifts overnight. Um, we got to work in the springtime on finding a home. That was a 3-month process, in the middle of which he had to move from one family member's home to another, which just threw a wrench in things, but we were able to navigate that. And after 3 months, we were able to find a good place for him, and that felt like a really big step, and that things were kind of working out and were settled. But the move was really surprisingly hard on the family, and I was curious why. But I learned that they had in living in Washington, they shared a unit with another Afghan family, right? A duplex, so they were just split by a wall with another family from their country who kind of understood them. And their whole time previously in Colombia, they were living with relatives that they knew very well. And coming from Afghanistan, they had always been in a communal living situation within their village. So moving into this rental home was really the first time that any of these family members had kind of just been in a place of their own, and that was really hard on them. And especially with the father working overnight, 12-hour shift, it was very hard on the wife and children. So our focus shifted to finding him a job closer to home where he could be home at night. And we looked around for a couple months, but couldn't really find anything. I found finally an opening, heard about an opening, not even a posted job, but just kind of through the vine, hearing about an opening with a company where refugees were already employed. I went ahead and sent a message to one of the supervisors there, and I sent this guy Mo's resume in, not expecting much. I saw Mo then 2 days later, and he said that that same day he had gotten a call from the company, and they brought him in for an interview the next day, and then gave him a start date for a couple days later. So it was just really, really serendipitous how that all worked out. So now he works during the day. He's got a 15-minute commute rather than 45. He's home every day by 3:30, just in time to welcome his oldest daughter from home from school, along with his wife and little ones. And he's told me he's planning to use his evening time for English class, which is a big goal of his, building his English skills. So yeah, inevitably, there will be other challenges that arise for this family, but I think that's ultimately why City of Refuge is here, not just to get folks from point A to point B, but to walk with the non-linear journey that is life, the ups and downs, the two steps, 2 steps forward, 1 step back type journey that everyone is on. Um, so yeah, I'm happy to be working with this family and all the families and just get to see where they go and where they're headed and work in collaboration in all sorts of ways. It's just a really big blessing. Garrett, back to you.
Thanks so much, JJ. Beautiful story. I actually hadn't heard that story. We hear these all the time, and so to hear new ones are always invigorating and encouraging. A reminder, we have 4 care coordinators. So we have Barry and Lori Stoll, who've been with us for a while, and both JJ and Emily. JJ, you've been with us for over a year now, right? Is it past a year?
Yeah, a year and a couple months.
Okay. So JJ and Emily are some of our newer ones. But what's so funny is to watch. I mean, you would think that this would be a position that we could just pluck off the street. It's not. JJ years ago was an intern with us. We do internships, spring, summer, fall. And I met JJ when he was volunteer, then he became an intern. He went to work somewhere else and then came back here. And I can't even begin to describe how well JJ, Emily, Barry, and Lori fit into this role. So we're very happy to have them. And it's just so cool to see those relationships growing in City of Refuge. So thanks, JJ. The next one I'm going to kick off real quick for Sarah Justice. Sarah Justice is our basic needs coordinator manager. She today is with one of our other interns, PJ, at the basic needs and public support fair on campus at Mizzou. So they're there, and she gave me some info. So I was going to give an update on that end. We continue to have lots of fun drives, but one of the cool things I want to start with is our health clinic. A couple years ago, we began this when we moved to this building. 3 years ago this week, we moved here to 10 North Garth across from the library. And when we did, we set out to have this clinic. Well, the clinic keeps changing, adapting, and growing. And so each semester they're doing this. So the updated date, we moved the date from where it was before due to vaccine availability. We were able to secure vaccines, which is very exciting. You may have seen in the news, these are harder to procure. And so as a result, we have those, and it's going to be on November the 8th, Saturday, November the 8th. So we're working with different experts, physicians. We have several of our health science interns who are nurses or in the health sciences background who are helping, making sure there's vaccines and other screenings going on in these. Such an important thing. You know, a story I tell people when they come and tour or I go other places is we have heard from friends, our refugee friends, that, you know, we'll have people who may have a wound that continues to bleed years after coming to the United States. And something that we would just be boggled by to say, why wouldn't you go take care of that? Well, there's a lot of things culturally. There may be a fear of admitting that you have a medical issue or a medical need. And so we're able to meet refugees here on site relationally and work on their terms. And this opens up so much beautiful relationship growth, health for families, and education. So that one is coming up. We're also going to be kicking off our season of giving pretty soon here. If you look on the left side of the screen, you'll see some ornaments. This is a really fun one. We do this at the end of the year, and it's an opportunity for organizations, churches, mosques, synagogues, organizations like Rotaries, Elks Club, etc., to get a tree or put them on something with ornaments, and families can pluck those off and say, hey, I want to meet some of these needs and build a package of items and bring them or donate to the basic needs. So if you're looking to also help with this or you'd like to host a program, if you will get back in touch with us, and in a minute here, I'll put that information in the chat. We'll also have some of this information on our website, which I'll direct us to at the end. So keep your eyes tuned to unique, fun ways as a group to help the basic needs for our friends. The next one I want to bring up is a newer program of ours, but it has been in the works for over a year and a half. Sandy Eccles is our new immigration legal specialist. She has been studying for a long time and is DOJ accredited, so she can do paperwork in the role. And I am very pumped to introduce Sandy to talk on her session. Sandy?
Thanks, Garrett. Since launching our immigration legal services practice in June, we've had the privilege of serving more than 100 clients from 16 different countries. When I was counting up all the countries, every time there'd be a new country, I was like, oh, wow, 16. Like that crept up really quickly. Each one of these stories represents someone taking a major step towards stability and belonging here in the United States. And it's really been an honor for me and for the rest of us at City of Refuge to be able to walk alongside people now in this capacity also. I have been able to help people apply for new or replacement green cards or apply to adjust for green cards to work towards their U.S. citizenship, and then just a bunch of other immigration legal challenges or issues that someone might have. And really throughout doing this work, we're really committed to give a high quality, affordable, and compassionate legal help. And it's just been interesting. One of the first interesting things that happened is they put out a bunch of business cards with my phone number. And within a couple of days, I don't know if it was 50 business cards or 100 business cards were just finished. And I thought, oh, okay, I don't know if I'm ready for this. But a really exciting thing I can announce today is that we have added to our team, Dominic Elting from Kansas City has started on Monday as the administrative assistant for Immigration Legal Services. But he's not just the administrative assistant, he's also working towards getting his own Department of Justice accreditation so that our practice will have two people working to help families get their legal statuses in this country and to help them work through the immigration legal process. In other news, our citizenship class is also continuing. I just have to keep saying thank you to our incredible and dedicated volunteers, Pat and Wedge and Donna and Fred. It's just always exciting to see you guys. You bring so much passion to the class that you teach. You bring in interesting things and interesting stories. One day when I got to class, Fred had done a, what's that, Jeopardy? He'd done a Jeopardy style game for people to learn the information. So they really passionately work to make sure that the students attending the classes are ready for their when they go for their interview. They're also working diligently to make sure they stay ahead of any changes that our federal government is bringing to that test and the citizenship process right now. As we look ahead to the next year, we're eager to keep expanding what we do and to strengthen our partnership with you, our community. On a personal note, I want to say I have found the work to be very challenging, but also deeply rewarding. And I want to really just say thank you from the bottom of my heart for continuing to be faithful supporters of City of Refuge, and that you've made it possible for someone like me to step in and help people navigate their immigration legal journey. Thank you so much. Garrett, back to you.
Thanks so much, Sandy. We really appreciate it. Our next one I want to talk about is volunteers and interning. And if you have not heard from Lauren, one day you will if you get involved with us in many ways. She is the queen of all things our database and volunteering and interning. So, Lauren, if you will take it away.
Hi, my name is Lauren, and I am the volunteer coordinator here at City of Refuge. And just a couple statistics for you. We have recently started a lot of our fall programs, kind of as David and his team talked about. Part of my job is getting volunteers for all of those programs to run effectively. And the rest of our building, and we have 318 weekly volunteers right now, which is so incredible. And then for year to date, we've had 392 total volunteers in 2025. That includes things like our back to school bash, that includes things like our summer market. And so with that, we have a new need coming up. The holiday market is on December 6th from 10 to 4. And that's like a one-time volunteer thing. We need a lot of help with setup and tear down. And so if that's something you're interested in and you want to be part of our numbers in that, it's not just a number, it's actually more than that, so much more than that. So if you'd like to sign up, feel free to look at our website, and that sign up will be there soon. We also do have spring interns that we will be interviewing for here in the next few months as we get closer to November and December. So if you know a college student who's interested in being an intern, feel free to look on our website. We have an intern tab on there to look for intern application. And then we have a new position, advocates, and I'm going to let Garrett speak about that one because he is very knowledgeable about that.
I just put this in here. I meant to write visited here. If you go down, you'll see our website's located in there, cityofrefugecolumbia.org for those. Yeah, Lauren, thanks. The new advocate volunteer position. This is really cool. And before you freak out and wonder if you have to know every which detail under the sun about refugees, you do not. One question we get with 318 weekly volunteers is, do you need more volunteers? And we're very excited about that. However, we're also packed to the gills with lots of people who are like, I want to help. And we keep having more coming. So one thing we did to stretch and make room for many friends who either A, can't get into a program yet because it's full, or B, are somebody who, based on your time commitments, you cannot commit to a certain hours during the day. We put our heads together and said, let's create an advocate position. And what this basically looks like is almost like a mini engagement. I'm the director of engagement here, and it's more than just money. Now, we'll talk a little bit. Money, of course, is really important and able to move the needle for us. But what it also is doing is looking around and saying, do I have friends, family, coworkers, or even just referrals like partners and friends that that can help move the needle that I can queue up for a soft introduction to Garrett and his team? It is so, so important. We cannot just through tabling, we do 70 offsite presentations a year, 130 tours on site. Those are helpful, but I can't do that all myself. My team can't do that themselves. And so what we're starting to do is create this position. And so it's a remote position in a way. We ask that you would do two of the following. We ask that you would donate either money or your time, a donor referral or a networking referral. So if you can meet two of those four or more, it's really helpful to be able to go out and say, there's this organization in town, especially volunteers, right? I get to volunteer at this organization. They're doing these great things, or I have friends who volunteer there, or I donate there. Here is something that they're doing in the town. This is growing Columbia. And what you're essentially saying is, can I, and I'll give you my cell number, can I queue you up in a little text group to Garrett? Or can I have Garrett give you a call? Can we have them reach out to you? Are you a company that is growing and wants some marketing opportunities and we can turn that into sponsorship? I'll get you in touch with their executive director and we can queue that up. It is so big in the business world. They say referrals are the number one source of a growing business, and that is completely true as well on a nonprofit. We want to continue to refer our services. So this is a way to do it. Now, you won't go in alone. I'm still developing these materials, but my plan is to release about once a month a little video snippet that I email to you that you can look up, and it just talks about, hey, in the next month, we have these 3 things. Can you be helping with this? Can you be sharing this information? So it may be a little blurb, it may be a video, coming out to the events. And again, just connecting us. That will help us immensely. As we mentioned, we're at 23% of our goal of $1,000 at $50 a month. And you can really help us take that to the next level. So stay tuned for those. We'll keep making little plugs for them. If you have any questions, I'll put my email address at the bottom here, or you could just go to our website under volunteer, fill out an application and say, hey, I would like to become an advocate. So we'll do a little bit more with that. But without further ado, I'm going to turn it right back over to our next person. And that is our friends at Cuisine and City Cuisine and City Boutique.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Nichols, and I'm the Artisan Empowerment Specialist at City of Refuge. Basically, what that means is I get to work with our global artisans to prepare them for sales at the City Boutique, the shops at Sharp End, and different markets in our community, like our December 6th holiday market. So much of what I do is centered around refugee empowerment and also mental health. So I wanted to share a story today. In August, I was invited to have a pop-up event at the shops at Sharp End, and it was to promote some of our artisans selling there. So I invited Katerina and her mother Elena to participate with me. Katerina is a teenager from Ukraine, and she crochets these adorable animal stuffies. She was under the label of Katerina's Critters, but now she has rebranded herself to Pluffique. Elena, her mother, is the business owner of Rye Berry Patch Bakery, which just had a collaboration with City Cuisine Food Truck for her first ever breakfast pop-up. Previously, they had shared a booth during our last market and got a really good feel about what was popular and what the community was interested in. That day, the shops at Sharp End launched Katerina into her best ever month of sales, and it helped spread the word about her mother's new 4-order bakery. A few years ago, though, Katerina and her mother heard about City of Refuge from somebody else in the community. The volunteer, this person was also a volunteer, noticed a cute little octopus stuffy hanging from Katerina's backpack and commented that they should meet me. During the meeting, Elena heard about all of the different programming that we offer here, so it became more than just an artisan empowerment moment. I helped Katerina develop her line, and then she was empowered to evolve it in the direction of her dreams. Now she doesn't need very much help at all from me, and she's like peppering me with questions when she comes in. What's selling? What's not? And it spurred her mother to have this dream for her own bakery business. With Araste and Kelly's help, Elena is well on her way to realizing that dream, all because Katerina had fun with crocheting. Kelly had also asked me to share a few things because she's working on a big catering order right now. City Boutique and City Cuisine are both utilized to assist our refugee friends in multiple ways. City Boutique actively features 7 to 10 different refugee-owned businesses, and it employs our friends in making our soap and candle lines. City Cuisine employs those refugees looking to get a foothold in the culinary world and now actively working to help them start their own businesses, as in Elena with the Rye Berry Patch Bakery. Finding a passion and then cultivating it through these ventures is such a blessing. So, how can you help support us? Well, first, you can shop at City Boutique, and secondly, you can eat and shop at City Cuisine. City Boutique's next Sip and Shop event will be happening next Thursday, October 16th from 4 to 7 p.m. And one of my artisans will be there. Join us at 10 North Garth for City Cuisine, Fusion Food, Les Bourgeois Wine, Global Artisan Tents, and so many new fall fashions and global artisan creations. Or you can join us at the City Cuisine from 7:30 to 10:30 for our next collaborative pop-up breakfast with Ukrainian-owned bakery, Ryeberry Patch. You get to choose delicious selection of traditional baked goods like her sourdough blueberry scones or poppy seed rolls. My husband loves her stuff. He says it reminds him of European bakery things that he experienced as a military brat. But she has blueberry scones and poppy seed rolls. And then there are other options like a Persian breakfast bowl or chai French toast. And then we have Ethiopian coffee and City Boutique's loose leaf teas also available. Lastly, City Cuisine Food Truck is open every Tuesday and Friday this fall between 11:30 and 1:30 p.m. for our Taco Tuesday and Fusion Friday lunches. Your support really does make a difference, so thank you.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. And if we actually go back one slide real quick, please, Lauren, we'll look at in this kind of image here. If you look all the way over to the right on the image on the left, you should see a little boy here in a blue shirt. What I love so much, this child's name is Chris. This is Elena's son. And to see the pride in both the mother and son's eyes when they were serving this last week at breakfast was so heartwarming. It was very cool to see him saying, like, this is my mom's favorite. This is what she makes. He was giving a little tour to people. So it's not just coming out, like she was saying, you're right. It is helping us with financial support for her and her family. But we are healing something really deep and fundamental in people's lives. And your support is able to make that happen. So I just caught him in that photo and I was like, I gotta say something on that. Okay, so without further ado, one of the last things I want to remind you that is coming up, like Stephanie had mentioned, Sip and Shop next Thursday on October 16th from 4 to 7 p.m. We hold back some of our bougier items, put them out. So if you swing on out after work, bring a friend. I know we're going to have Commerce Bank is going to be there presenting an award that they're awarding to us as well. So if you're with Commerce or anybody there as well, I see some in the chat. We'd love for you to be there as well at that event. And then as well, a really big event coming up at the end of the year, Holiday Market. This is on December 6th. Stephanie does a great job of procuring over, 50 to 60 local makers. There's no multi-level marketing. We have Santa who's going to be there. If you have kids or are an administrator or know administrators with CPS, Columbia Public Schools, or some of the other schools, I know we're talking to Christian Fellowship and some others, we're having choirs and bands performing. So we've already had Rockbridge Elementary is committed. We're talking with some others. And these are going to be really fun performances. We have over 2,000 people who usually attend this. Very, very packed. We've got food trucks and drinks, and, gift wrapping, etc. So this is going to be a great event, and we would love for you to RSVP. So speaking of which, how do we kind of drive some of these things home? Well, those events, where can you find these? So I'm going to share my screen real quick here, and I'm going to show you on our website where you can go. So if you head over here, you'll see on the left side, should see my screen, I think. You see my screen, Lauren? Are we Facebook, this on? Okay, awesome. So if you head to our website here, if you come over, you'll see under the Get Involved and you go to Events and Partnerships. This is where you can find out more about that Sip and Shop next week. You could read here, you can RSVP on our website, but then also check out Holiday Market. And when you get here, maybe you're a vendor and you want to join us. We have over 40 already. And so people very excited. So you can click on the registration. Here's where you can do that volunteering for that event that we need help, the timing and everything. And then on our Facebook, if you go to our Facebook site and head over to our upcoming events, you'll find on here, there's both of those. And here is that third annual holiday market, right? Well, when you're on this, if you can go ahead and head over to, check if you're going. We have had hundreds of people sign up in the last 3 days, and we want as many people as we can. That brings out more funding for not just us, but also our friends, our refugee friends, and our local community. So you can come over here, and if you click invite, if you have you can do up to 500 friends in one click. So make sure to check that out and follow us on there. Maybe you don't even follow City of Refuge yet. So go to our City of Refuge, and then you'll see there's other things on here where you can find about our boutique, City Cuisine, and follow those accordingly. So that, of course, is events. I'm going to stop this share. And we're going to go back to our slides for questions and answers. I want to do one last thing, which is as an engagement person here, director of engagement. We have, the question of how do I donate? Well, if you visit our site at cityofrefuge, Columbia.org or email us, we can easily hook you up with that. We are inviting people and saying to that, 1,000 donors at $50 a month, maybe it's $5, maybe it's 10, saying to people that these stories that you heard today, this is so rare that you'd have all of these services in one place. In Columbia, you are showing up and you're doing so much work. And for us to continue in that direction, we really do need that support. So if you could continue to share that with your friends, that is one of our biggest needs now that we're facing. And then the last one, again, as I mentioned, is share what we're going, where we're going. And, I'm going to give you a little hint. In 2026, we are not only just looking at some of those events, but we are currently crafting a gala, most likely to take place sometime in April. So we're ironing out the final date and location, but really turning our heads towards saying, hey, if we want to continue this beautiful work we're doing, we need to build that bedrock on funding. Lastly, we're going to say, hey, any questions? So going down to the main chat here, I'm going to give us about 60 seconds if anybody wants to put a question in the chat. All these happy faces waiting to answer questions. When is the next breakfast pop-up? Great question. I know you mentioned the time. Stephanie, can you give us a specific date for that if you know? Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
I was actually looking it up on social media because that is the best place to find out when we're going to have special events. I believe that Kelly's notes said that we were having one tomorrow from 7:30 to 10:30. And it looks like, yes, we do. Thursday, October 9th, 7:30 to 10:30. I will warn you though, we've been coaching her. She was so popular, we ran out of food in an hour last time. So the earlier the better, but she said she's going to prep for more. So
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put here in the chat for everybody where you can find us. So that profile, if you just go to Facebook or our Instagram, you could look up City Cuisine. If you start typing that in, you'll find it there. Follow. I'm looking right here. Yeah, there's that breakfast pop-up Thursday, tomorrow from 7:30 a.m. To 10:30 a.m. Delicious breakfast. And I'll tell you, I am not a super sweets person. The cinnamon roll, I tested it because I every once in a while you got to cheat on those sugar goals, and I was blown away by how it wasn't overpowering. So just beautiful, beautiful food. Who else? Any other questions? And that's a good reminder. We are located across the street from the downtown public library. Also, we do internships. We talked about this. So whenever I talk to students, I will tell them, do you know where Canes is, Raising Canes? That's about one of the only landmarks they know outside of the university. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, Canes. And they say, it's up the street from Canes. So either across from the library or up the street from Canes gets you right to our location where our boutique is. Well, it looks like we don't have any extra questions. Again, there's the site there where if you want to email us for Debbie or I. And friends, it has been so fun to do these quarterly series. And what this means is we're going to hopefully see you at Holiday Market. Stay tuned if you don't get the newsletter, reach out to us or social media help. We would be glad to help plug you in there so you are in the know, especially with some really action-packed stuff in 2026. Thank you so much for helping us make a city of refuge. We couldn't do it without you as we serve and empower our refugees through care, education, and development. Have a great rest of your week. See you soon.